families, and friends.
Please rise for the faculty of the University of Georgia.
Families and friends.
The Grand Marshal and the party of the President of the University of Georgia.
Good morning. The University of Georgia welcomes the members of the class of 2019 and their families and friends to this spring's commencement ceremony. Here at the birthplace of public higher education in America, we are very proud to celebrate the accomplishments of our outstanding students with all of you today. Please remain standing for the presentation of the flag of the United States of America and the flag of the state of Georgia, to be followed by our national anthem. The colors will be presented by cadets from the University of Georgia Air Force ROTC units. The national anthem will be led by Isaiah Matthew Fakin, a doctoral candidate in musical arts from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Following the national anthem, please continue standing for the invocation to be offered by Rabbi Eric Linder of the Congregation Children of Israel.
We gather this morning to celebrate. The joy of graduation is not only about the past years that you spent studying and learning at the UGA campus. We also celebrate the unlimited potential of your future. In the Jewish tradition, the Torah conveys a fitting message of forward-facing hope and excitement. When God encounters Abraham for the first time, God says two Hebrew words, Lech Lecha, go forward. When God gave Abraham this command, he didn't know where his journey would take him, because the future is unknown. Today, however, we celebrate this certainty. Your years here will always be a foundational source of wisdom, community, strength, and blessing. Lech Lecha has one other meaning. It can also mean go toward yourself. As such, we hope that your time spent at this University of Georgia inspires you to continually discover and strengthen the best parts of yourself. Congratulations and Lech Lecha.
Thank you, Isaiah, and thank you, Eric. Everyone, please be seated. I want to express my appreciation to the UGA Air Force cadets for presenting our colors and to the members of the Art Society for helping with this morning's ceremony. I also want to thank the University of Georgia Wind Ensemble for providing this morning's music. We are truly grateful to the Hugh Hodson School of Music for providing us with such talented individuals. We gather today in this setting to formalize the accomplishment of the graduates that you see before you. We celebrate their hard work, their commitment to a goal, their dedication to the ideals of the University of Georgia, and importantly, the support of their families and friends. Commencement is a rite of passage long held dear in academia, but commencement at the University of Georgia is truly something special. The symbols and rituals we incorporate today, from the wearing of the red and black, to the college and school banners on the stage and the singing of our alma mater, all are sacred traditions to us. They bind us together as alumni, now more than 319,000 around the world. As a fellow alumnus, it's my honor to stand alongside our graduates as a devoted member of the University of Georgia community. We are loyal, we are proud, and we make a positive impact on the world. All of you go forth today as an ambassador of one of the nation's most prominent land-grant institutions and the birthplace of public higher education in America. You are now a steward of a 234-year tradition of teaching, research, and service. You are leaving here now with the capacity to shape the future of your community, this state, this nation, and indeed the whole world. We now expect uncommon things of you because you are a graduate of the University of Georgia. Congratulations. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our spring commencement speaker, Dr. Locke Johnson. Locke is retiring after 40 years at the University of Georgia, most recently as Regents Professor of Public and International Affairs and Josiah Meggs Distinguished Teaching Professor. He is an accomplished scholar in political science with numerous awards for his influential teaching and research. He was the inaugural recipient of the Southeastern Conference's annual prize, SEC Professor of the Year. During his distinguished career, Locke authored more than 30 books and over 200 articles on intelligence agencies, foreign policy, and national security. His extensive public service at the federal level is detailed in your program. While at UGA, Locke has been highly involved in civic activities at the local, state, and national levels, including writing Friend of the Court petitions for intelligence-related cases, serving as a member of the Georgia Board of Elections, and leading the campaign to finance the construction of what was then the new Cedar Shoals High School and the renovation of other schools in Athens-Clarke County. Locke is here with his wife, Lena, who also is a great supporter of UGA. Thank you, Lena, for being with us. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome today's graduate commencement speaker, Dr. Locke Johnson.
President Moorhead, thank you so much for that kind introduction. Provost Morris. Matriculating graduate students of 2019, ladies and gentlemen, commencement is a time for congratulations. You have worked hard for the honors you are receiving today. I salute you and praise you for the toil and determination that has led to your success. Hats off as well to those who have helped you along the way, your family, spouses, partners, friends, and faculty. I am here, though, not just to congratulate you, but to challenge you. It is the province of a commencement speaker to give advice. In the spirit of that time-honored tradition, I turn to one of my favorite books, the Oxford English Dictionary. According to the OED, the English language boasts over 180,000 words, making it the most word-rich tongue in the world. From this vast lexicon, I have selected two words that have been particularly important to me over the years, and they may be to you as well as you move forward. The first word is empathy. Even back in 1979, when I first joined the faculty here, some hotels in New York City were charging $500 or more a night. And at galas in Washington, D.C., maids filled toilet bowls with freshly chopped carnations after every flush. Now, 4 decades later, the lifestyles of the rich in the United States have grown even more extravagant, as the gap between the well-to-do and the rest of America further widens, with wealth now concentrated within a small sliver of the American population. The top 1% of households enjoyed a minimum income of $516,000 this past year, a 50% increase over the year before. In contrast, the 20% at the bottom earned just $16,000. We have the highest level of income inequality among the advanced countries. In New York City alone, over 114,000 children are homeless, living each night in the streets until their schools open the next day. These are astonishing statistics. The Gilded Age seems to have returned with a vengeance. We cannot realistically hope to maintain peace and stability within our country while so many of our citizens live in a state of hunger and poverty. We have an obligation to confront this despair. It's not a matter of soaking the rich with sky-high taxes. After all, entrepreneurs have always been an important part of our history. They have generated jobs. Their innovative businesses have been helpful to humanity, and they frequently support major philanthropic activities. Still, some increases in taxes on the ultra-wealthy would be sensible, along with the closing along with the closing of tax loopholes to force all individuals and corporations to pay their fair share. It would behoove us as well to reduce our extravagant military spending. We don't need 12 aircraft carriers. Only a couple of nations have only 2, but we do need better health care. Further, shouldn't we turn our backs on any politician of any party who doesn't understand the importance of fiscal responsibility? Either we begin to dismantle our $22 trillion national debt, or it will dismantle us. The well-being of your children and grandchildren depends on overcoming the threat of bankrupting the United States. Beyond these national challenges, there are so many things that each of us can contribute at the local level to address societal imbalances. By engaging in community projects to assist the poor, for example, such as establishing neighborhood health clinics, or as President Moorhead has done so much to encourage, by supporting higher education. His Georgia Commitment Scholarships, a program initiated only a few years ago, 2019, has already yielded over 400 scholarships. Our sense of empathy must extend beyond our national borders. In 1947, when Secretary of State George Marshall presented his famous plan to assist recovery in Europe after the Second World War, he crossed out a phrase in his speech that had been put in there by his staff. That phrase warned that, and I quote, "The communist threat," unquote, "was the greatest danger to the world." Instead, the great Secretary Marshall chose to list a different set of enemies: hunger, poverty, desperation, and chaos around the world. And these threats continue to haunt us. We have made progress, eradicating many world diseases and improving crop production in the developing world. The share of the world's population living on less than $2 a day declined to under 10% in 2015, from 44% in 1980. An extraordinary achievement. Nonetheless, the world remains a troubled place. Over 1 billion children lack basic medical services essential to survival and development. In Africa, women have a 1 in 3 chance of dying during childbirth. Life expectancy is low overseas. Only age 39, for example, in Sierra Leone and Central America, is so plagued with violence and poverty that in anguish, its citizens continue to flee toward hope for safety in the United States. Yet, our foreign assistance programs are at levels substantially lower than international norms. In America, $44 worth of expenditures per person each year, or about what we spend on flowers and potted plants. Imagine if we were to display greater empathy toward our fellow human beings overseas, with Washington officials showing up in villages in Africa and Latin America, asking, "What are your special problems? What is it in medicines, food, education, and technology that we can provide? What can we buy from you? What can we sell to you?" Or in Central America, how can we help with law enforcement and intelligence operations against the MS-13 gangs and drug kingpins that sow fear in your neighborhoods and drive you from your homes? A former member of our faculty, Dean Rusk, recalled visiting the Congo when he served as Secretary of State during the Kennedy years. In the hut of a village chief, a photograph hung of President John Kennedy. The chief explained that the president was a hero among his tribesmen for sending Peace Corps volunteers there. They had purified the water resources and improved farming methods. This is just one illustration. We have done much good in the world, but we can do so much more. The number of Peace Corps volunteers and other international programs of friendship, including Fulbright Fellows, has eroded dramatically in recent years. The current administration in Washington, D.C. seeks a 71% cut in funding for the Fulbright program. Imagine if we were to resolve that we would treat others abroad in the same manner that we would like to be treated ourselves. There is no wiser guide to a virtuous life than this basic idea, which we know as the Golden Rule, a concept that dates back at least to the days of Confucius and is a prominent tenet of every major religion in the world. That is what I mean by empathy. My second and related word is service. One of the great philosophical questions that each of us must face is, what is the chief end of man? Or put another way, what is life all about? My preferred answer? Life is about service to others. Many of you have already displayed a remarkable devotion to public service. Now carry forward that enthusiasm for helping others as you make the transition from this campus to new communities, converting empathy into constructive civic action. The theologian John Wesley had it right. Do all the good you can. A core challenge is to overcome apathy, an affliction that eats away at the foundation of democratic societies. Some years ago, a man was traveling from Athens through the mountains to Asheville, North Carolina. He realized he was lost. So when he came to an intersection of two roads, he asked a fellow standing nearby whether it made any difference which road he took to Asheville. Without even looking up, the fellow replied, "Not to me, it don't." Talk about a shocking lack of empathy and service. The fact is, however, a lot of people really don't care which way society goes. The great Danish philosopher, Søren Kierkegaard, divided citizens into two groups. They were either drivers or drifters. In his classic work entitled Either Or, he said he wanted to run after every man and woman in the streets and ask them the questions: are you alert or inert? A master or a slave? A creator or a creature? A lifter or a leaner? And I would add, a contributor or just a critic? I think I know the answer when it comes to those of you graduating today. You are individuals of high promise, or you would not have come this far. In our society, you will be the drivers, the masters, the creators, the lifters, and the contributors. As you move forward, let empathy and service be your lodestars. I have no doubt you will succeed. I ask only that you help democracy succeed as well. Best wishes to each of you in the exciting journey ahead.
Thank you, Locke, for those inspiring words, and particularly for your many years of service to this university and to this community. Your remarks are most appropriate as these graduates now step out to meet the challenges that lie ahead. To our candidates, in a few moments, I'll have the honor of conferring upon you the degree for which you have been recommended by the graduate faculty and the dean of the graduate school. In conferring these degrees, the faculty and I have every confidence that you will represent the university with honor and that you will work to assure that the University of Georgia remains an institution in which the people of this state and this nation will always take great pride in the work that you accomplish. Today, all of you become alumni of the University of Georgia, and we are pleased to have with us the 75th president of the University of Georgia Alumni Association, Bonnie Schumann. She will welcome you to the alumni family. Soon after Bonnie's graduation from the university in 1980, she co-founded Barcode Systems, which introduced the barcode to national retailers. She later sold the barcode portion of the company and renamed it Stratix Corporation. At the time of her retirement as CEO in 2011, Stratix had more than 160 employees and over $150 million in revenue. Bonnie joined the UGA Alumni Association Board of Directors in 2006, and I am pleased that she is continuing that journey now as president of the UGA Alumni Association. Please join me in welcoming Bonnie Schumann.
Thank you, President Moorhead. It is indeed an honor to be here. Class of 2019, congratulations and welcome to the University of Georgia alumni family. Today, you join more than 319,000 UGA graduates around the world who share your love for this place. Passionate alumni volunteers lead more than 80 alumni chapters that are ready to welcome you with open arms wherever you may land. They have plenty of bulldog spirit, and these chapter leaders are committed to building relationships among UGA alumni no matter where you are. The UGA Alumni Association maintains an active alumni network, so I encourage you after today's ceremony to connect with us on either Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Through these outlets, you'll learn about all sorts of networking, community service events, Bulldog meetups in your city, maybe a game watching party, and so much more. To welcome you as alumni, each of you has been given a coin that bears UGA's shielded arch. Carry this coin with you as you embark on your next chapter as a bit of good luck, a memento of your hard work, and a reminder that all things are possible. Congratulations again, and welcome to the UGA Alumni Association.
Thank you, Bonnie. The support and assistance of our alumni is absolutely essential to our continued quest for excellence at the University of Georgia, and I join Bonnie in urging all of you to stay connected to your university through our Alumni Association. Now I want to take just a moment to introduce the senior administration of the university who in their operational areas have contributed to your education. They are seated on the stage, and I will introduce them by row. I will ask them to stand as their names are called and be seated once their row has been introduced. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Dr. Libby Morris, the Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. Mr. Ryan Nesbitt, the Vice President for Finance and Administration. Mr. Kelly Kerner, the Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations. Dr. Raul Srivastav, the Vice President for Instruction. Dr. David Lee, the Vice President for Research. Dr. Jennifer Frum, the Vice President for Public Service and Outreach. Mr. Victor Wilson, the Vice President for Student Affairs. Mr. Toby Carr, the Vice President for Government Relations. Ms. Carrie Hobson-Pate, the Vice President for Marketing and Communication. Dr. Tim Chester, the Vice President for Information Technology. And Dr. Michelle Cook, the Vice Provost for Diversity and Inclusion and Strategic University Initiatives. Please join me in greeting these senior administrators. Serving as Grand Marshal for this morning's ceremony is Dr. Scott Pagan, past chair of the University Council Executive Committee. He is on the faculty of the College of Pharmacy, and it is a tradition for the Sheriff of Clark County to participate in the University of Georgia Commencement, and I want to thank Sheriff Ira Edwards for being with us this morning. Please join me in a round of applause for these guests. Well, it's now time to confer the degrees on the class of 2019. Provost Morris and Dr. Suzanne Barbour, Dean of the Graduate School, will assist in the ceremony.
As we begin conferring graduate degrees, I am pleased to present the deans of the schools and colleges. These deans support the wide spectrum of scholarly and scientific activities represented by graduate programs at the University of Georgia. They are seated on the stage, and I will introduce them now by row. I will ask them to stand as their names are called and be seated once their row has been introduced. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Dean Alan Dorsey of the Franklin College of Arts and Sciences. Dean Sam Perdue of the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences. Dean Bo Rutledge of the School of Law. Dean Kelly Smith of the College of Pharmacy. Dean Dale Green of the Daniel B. Warnell School of Forestry and Natural Resources. Dean Denise Spangler of the College of Education. Associate Dean Marissa Pagnataro of the C. Herman and Mary Virginia Terry College of Business. Dean Charles Davis of the Henry W. Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication. Dean Linda Kirk Fox of the College of Family and Consumer Sciences. Dean Lisa Nolan of the College of Veterinary Medicine. Associate Dean Sherry Miller of the School of Social Work. Dean Sonia Hurt of the College of Environment and Design. Dean Matt Auer of the School of Public and International Affairs. Associate Dean Mark Wilson of the College of Public Health. Dean John Gittleman of the Eugene P. Odom School of Ecology. Campus Dean Shelley Nuss of the Augusta University, University of Georgia Medical Partnership. And Dean Don Leo of the College of Engineering. Please join me in greeting the deans. It is now time for the university to confer upon you the degrees for which you have been recommended. To present candidates for graduate degrees, I will call on Dr. Suzanne Barbour to assist in the ceremony.
211 candidates have successfully qualified for doctoral degrees. President Moorhead, on behalf of the graduate program faculty, I am pleased to present to you the candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, and Doctor of Musical Arts. Will the candidates please rise?
By the authority vested in me as President of the University of Georgia by the Board of Regents, I now confer on you the degree for which you have been recommended by your dean and faculty with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations. You may be seated. In recognition of your high scholastic achievement, the ancient symbol of the hood will be placed upon your shoulders by your major professor or by representatives of the graduate faculty, Drs. Harry Daly and Robert Bringoff. The marshals will conduct you to the stage. Please come forward as your name is called by Dr. Jason Payton. Candidates will not necessarily be called in alphabetical order, and we respectfully ask that you not applaud individual candidates because it may cover up the name of the next person in line. Would the first two rows only please stand and follow the marshals?
Jung-hee Bai, Doctor of Philosophy, Social Work, Major Professor Mary Kaplan. Amanda D. Hahn, Doctor of Philosophy, Social Work, Major Professor Larry Nakarud. Marcus Adam Bartlett, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, Major Professor Wesley Allen. Marissa Lynn Eastup, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, Major Professor Henry Schaefer. Whitney James Morgan, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, Major Professor Henry Schaefer. Xiao Hong Liu, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, Major Professor Jason Laughlin. Victoria Ann King, Doctor of Philosophy, Human Development and Family Science, Major Professor Kas Wikrama. Lee Allen Lukoff, Doctor of Philosophy, Political Science and International Affairs, Major Professor Locke Johnson. Stephanie Elaine Armis, Doctor of Philosophy, Human Development and Family Science, Major Professor Desiree Sapunsky. Erin Catherine Dupree, Doctor of Philosophy, Human Development and Family Science, Major Professor Asaf Oshri. Jaya Kim, Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmacy, Major Professor Michael Bartlett. Derek Offel, Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmacy, Major Professor Corey Momini. Nicole Sung Lanahan, Doctor of Philosophy, Microbiology, Major Professor Corey Momini. Hujin Annie Kwan, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioinformatics, Major Professor Nataraj Khannan. Leixiang Ji, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioinformatics, Major Professor Robert Schmitz. Brian Davis Naden, Doctor of Philosophy, Plant Breeding, Genetics and Genomics, Major Professor Scott Jackson, accompanied by Robert Schmitz. Noah Joseph Leibowitz Lockard, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics, Major Professor Paul Pollack. David Allen Fischler, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, Major Professor Ron Orlando. Andrea Nicole Bootsma, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, Major Professor Stephen Wheeler. Mikhail Ivonchik, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Administration, Major Professor Temirian Moldogazev. Steffi Maria Bester, Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmacy, Major Professor Scott Pagan. John Vincent Djamansky, Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmacy, Major Professor Scott Pagan. Melissa Presley Woodard, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, Major Professor Michael Duncan. Corinna Mihaela Bileau, Doctor of Philosophy, Comparative Literature, Major Professor Mihai Spariosu, accompanied by Dorothy Figuera. Elena Rachel Brown, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, Major Professor Gary Duberly. Joseph Troy Bryce, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, Major Professor Gary Duberly. Ian McHugh Saunier, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Administration and Policy, Major Professor Shanika Williams. Ja Roswell Lawrence, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Administration and Policy, Major Professor Shanika Williams, accompanied by Daryl Ray. Parna Banerjee, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Administration and Policy, Major Professor Richard Welsh. Taylor Jane Hendricks, Doctor of Philosophy, Animal and Dairy Science, Co-Major Professors Jennifer Tucker, Dennis Hancock. Christopher Ross Johnston, Doctor of Philosophy, Crop and Soil Sciences, Major Professor William Venzel. Derek Joseph Angermeyer, Doctor of Philosophy, History, Major Professor John Morrow, accompanied by Stephen Soper. Ahmed Mohammed Khamis Mohammed Al-Kabi, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Administration and Policy, Major Professor Sally Zepeda. Amanda Denise Williams Gorham, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Administration and Policy, Major Professor John Dayton, accompanied by Sally Zepeda. Brittany Denise Jenkins, Doctor of Philosophy, Genetics, Major Professor Melissa Davis. Julia Claire Hernandez, Doctor of Philosophy, Romance Languages, Major Professor Dana Bultman. David William Brew, Doctor of Philosophy, Environmental Health Science, Major Professor Marsha Black. Amanda June Bronner, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology, Major Professor Virginia Nazera. Kayla Camille Crook, Doctor of Philosophy, Special Education, Major Professor Joel Ringdahl. Maggie Maloney, Doctor of Philosophy, Special Education, Major Professor Joel Ringdahl. Jessica Lynn Babin, Doctor of Philosophy, Business Administration, Major Professor John Holland. Jenna Maria Diaduzio, Doctor of Philosophy, Business Administration, Major Professor John Campbell. Christine Sims Nielsen, Doctor of Philosophy, Business Administration, Major Professor Jacqueline Hammersley. Cindy Hokie Blair, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Theory and Practice, Major Professor Elizabeth St. Pierre. Xiaowing Zhao, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Theory and Practice, Major Professor Jennifer Halver, accompanied by Elizabeth St. Pierre. Kimberly Darnton Groover, Doctor of Philosophy, Economics, Major Professor Megan Skyra. Megan Irene Essen, Doctor of Philosophy, Economics, Major Professor William Vogt. Thomas Forrest Wiesen, Doctor of Philosophy, Economics, Major Professor William Lustrab. Amanda Marguerite Latimer, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Theory and Practice, Major Professor Corey Buxton, accompanied by Martha Alexat Snyder. Maria Eugenia Castellanos Reynosa, Doctor of Philosophy, Epidemiology, Major Professor Christopher Whalen. Simon Matembo, Doctor of Philosophy, Epidemiology, Major Professor Christopher Whalen. Stephanie Marie Ike, Doctor of Philosophy, Epidemiology, Major Professor Jose Cordero. Melody Diaz-Fulton, Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmacy, Major Professor Yujun George Zhang. Stephen Michael Bagwell, Doctor of Philosophy, Political Science and International Affairs, Major Professor K. Chad Clay. Sean Jing, Doctor of Philosophy, Horticulture, Major Professor Anish Maladi. Ron Ho, Doctor of Philosophy, Agricultural and Applied Economics, Major Professor Octavio Ramirez. Benjamin Nicholas Leiva Crispy, Doctor of Philosophy, Agricultural and Applied Economics, Major Professor Octavio Ramirez. So-Ye Shin, Doctor of Philosophy, Agricultural and Applied Economics, Major Professor Nicholas Magnan. Gloria Jean Howerton, Doctor of Philosophy, Geography, Major Professor Amy Trauger. Melissa Michelle George, Doctor of Philosophy, Infectious Diseases, Major Professor Ray Kaplan, accompanied by Dean Pringle. Thomas E. Dantas Whitney, Doctor of Philosophy, Forestry and Natural Resources, Major Professor Kamal Gandhi, accompanied by Rima Lucardi. Erica Janelle Berkman, Doctor of Philosophy, Infectious Diseases, Major Professor Andrew Moorhead. Ajay Singh Arya, Doctor of Philosophy, Microbiology, Major Professor Mark Eitman. Alexander Charles Johnson, Doctor of Philosophy, Plant Biology, Major Professor Katrian Devos. John James Speakerman, Doctor of Philosophy, Plant Biology, Major Professor Katrian M. Devos. Christopher Anthony Pinzoni, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Psychology, Major Professor Amy Reshley. Gretchen Lee Snegus, Doctor of Philosophy, Geography, Major Professor Hilda Kurtz. Yu Bao, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Psychology, Major Professor Lainey Bradshaw. Anuj S. Purohit, Doctor of Philosophy, Food and Science, Major Professor Anand Mohan. Hong Chi, Doctor of Philosophy, Food Science, Major Professor Yi Chon-hung, accompanied by Kushik Adhikari. Shang-Xi Wang, Doctor of Philosophy, Food Science, Major Professor Kushik Adhikari. Agri Pemba Gama, Doctor of Philosophy, Food Science, Major Professor Kushik Adhikari. Sarah Alexander Willett, Doctor of Philosophy, Food Science, Major Professor Casimir C. Ako. Seth Henry Andrews, Doctor of Philosophy, Biological and Agricultural Engineering, co-major professors William Kesalita and Stephen Stice. Ehiremin Azubene, Doctor of Philosophy, Health Promotion and Behavior, Major Professor Pamela Orpinas. Chioma Nyamaka Kasosoka, Doctor of Philosophy, Health Promotion and Behavior, Major Professor Nathan Hansen. Jared Michael Jashinsky, Doctor of Philosophy, Health Promotion and Behavior, Major Professor Marsha Davis. Wael Salem Abdelhamid Eldashan, Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmacy, Major Professor Susan Fagan. Lindsay Teig, Doctor of Philosophy, English, Major Professor Magdalena Zarowski. Emily Colleen Belanger, Doctor of Philosophy, English, accompanied by Magdalena Zarowski. Lainey Ann Pomerlow, Doctor of Philosophy, English, Major Professor Cynthia Turner Camp. Holly Elizabeth Fling, Doctor of Philosophy, English, Major Professor Tricia Lutens. Holly Marie Gallagher, Doctor of Philosophy, English, Major Professor Tricia Lutens. Catherine Marie Brownson, Doctor of Philosophy, Integrative Conservation and Ecology, Major Professor Lori Fowler. Kristen Ellen Cameron, Doctor of Philosophy, Mass Communication, Major Professor Spencer Tinkham. Jin-hee Lee, Doctor of Philosophy, Physics, Major Professor In-seok Song. Rebecca Morais Coelho, Doctor of Philosophy, Romance Languages, Major Professor Robert Moser. Heather Michelle Kadiba, Doctor of Philosophy, Cellular Biology, Major Professor Vasant Muralidharan. Gabrielle E. Hovenden, Doctor of Philosophy, English, Major Professor Andrew Zawacki. Davitrina Solis Godson, Doctor of Philosophy, Communication Sciences and Disorders, Major Professor Patrick Finn. Amanda Jean Harker Steele, Doctor of Philosophy, Agricultural and Applied Economics, Major Professor John Bergstrom, accompanied by Susanna Ferreira. Ni-Yun Chen, Doctor of Philosophy, Agricultural and Applied Economics, Major Professor Jeffrey Mullen. Brandon Tyler Richardson, Doctor of Philosophy, Anthropology, Major Professor, Victor Thompson. Dominique Antoine Quarles, Doctor of Philosophy, Higher Education, Major Professor, Eric C. Ness. Anthony Paul Jones, Doctor of Philosophy, Higher Education, Major Professor, James Hearn. Melissa Erin Watley, Doctor of Philosophy, Higher Education, Major Professor, Robert Takushian. Pedro Manuel Monares, Doctor of Philosophy, Geology, Major Professor, Stephen Holland, accompanied by Christian Klimsak. Kelsey Taylor Warden, Doctor of Philosophy, Geology, Major Professor, Christian Klemsak. Jeffrey Gary Robert, Doctor of Philosophy, Financial Planning, Housing and Consumer Economics, Major Professor, Velma Zahirovic Herbert, accompanied by Sherry Lookin-Wortley. Andrew Benjamin Maurer, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics, Major Professor, Daniel Nakano. Zi King Xiang, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics, Major Professor, Daniel Nakano. David Wayne Woodring, Doctor of Philosophy, Sociology, Major Professor, Ronald Simons. Lori Desiree Watson, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics, Major Professor, Peter Clark. Shavisa Latoya Thomas, Doctor of Philosophy, Animal and Dairy Science, Major Professor, Alexander Stelzleni. Gary Russell Waters, Doctor of Philosophy, Romance Languages, Major Professor, Thomas Peterson. Samara Josette Richter Scheckler, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Administration, Major Professor, Amanda Abraham. Emily Rivas Zier, Doctor of Philosophy, Public Administration, Major Professor, William Bradford. Hector Ivan Restrepo, Doctor of Philosophy, Forestry and Natural Resources, Major Professor, Bronson Bullock. Andrew Joseph Stasik, Doctor of Philosophy, Microbiology, Major Professor, Sylvia Moreno. Joseph Stephen Worth, Doctor of Philosophy, Microbiology, Major Professor, William Whitman. Benjamin Riley Boward, Doctor of Philosophy, Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, Major Professor Stephen Dalton, accompanied by William Whitman. Morgan Elizabeth Tichy, Doctor of Philosophy, Microbiology, Major Professor Elizabeth Otison. Laura Caitlin Ney, Doctor of Philosophy, Crop and Soil Sciences, Major Professor Dorcas Franklin. Jin Wong, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioinformatics, Major Professor Xiaying Zhao, accompanied by Jessica Kissinger. Xiaodong Jiang, Doctor of Philosophy, Statistics, Co-Major Professors Yang Liu and Peng Sheng Ji, Ray Shea, Doctor of Philosophy, Statistics, co-major professors Ping Ma, Tin Sriram, accompanied by Liang Liu. Linda Ann Brothers Purvis, Doctor of Philosophy, Science Education, Major Professor Julie Luft. Natasha Yvonne Johnson, Doctor of Philosophy, Science Education, co-major professors Deborah Tippins and David Jackson. Travis Killian McKee Versta, Doctor of Philosophy, Counseling and Student Personnel Services, Major Professor Annalise Singh. Tonya Nicole Tucker, Doctor of Philosophy, Counseling and Students Personnel Services, Major Professor Annalise Singh. Sarah Noel Brandt Rajan, Doctor of Philosophy, Counseling and Student Personnel Services, Major Professor Daryl Bailey. Natalie Ann Adermanasinga, Doctor of Philosophy, Counseling and Student Personnel Services, Major Professor George McMahon. Austin James Taylor, Doctor of Philosophy, Engineering, Major Professor Zion Tse. Carolyn Trump, Doctor of Philosophy, Special Education, Major Professor Kevin Ayers. Erin Elizabeth Whiteside, Doctor of Philosophy, Special Education, Major Professor Kevin Ayers. Nicole Elizabeth Sifrin, Doctor of Philosophy, Language and Literacy Education, Major Professor Ruth Harmon. Suraj Upadhyayi, Doctor of Philosophy, Integrative Conservation and Forest Resources, Major Professor Puneet Dwivedi. Yu Wong, Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmacy, Major Professor Matthew Perry. Leilani Galdones Sumabat, Doctor of Philosophy, Plant Pathology, co-major professors Marin Brewer and Robert Kemmerite. Joella Xu, Doctor of Philosophy, Toxicology, Major Professor Tai Guo. Eric Philip C., Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics Education, Major Professor Andrew Isaac. Ebru Ersari, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics Education, Major Professor Denise Spangler. Yi Long Li, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics Education, Major Professor Denise Spangler. Chuan Zhang, Doctor of Philosophy, Kinesiology, Major Professor Christopher Moldeski. Michelle Lydia Weber, Doctor of Philosophy, Kinesiology, Major Professor Julianne Schmidt. Yi Zhou Chien, Doctor of Philosophy, Kinesiology, Major Professor James Zhang. Casey Lee Darley Yurdi, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, Major Professor Richard Morrison. Daniel Mackenzie, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics, Major Professor Ming Jun Lai. Zarate Leonard Dezetra Woods, Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematics, Major Professor Juan Gutierrez. Graham David Schuster, Doctor of Philosophy, Philosophy, Major Professor Richard Dean Winfield. Michael Udanen, Doctor of Philosophy, Philosophy, Major Professor Richard Winfield. Sunya Lynn Fox, Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Psychology, Major Professor Tarek Grantham. Jennifer Lauren Graham, Doctor of Education, Student Affairs Leadership, Major Professor Laura Dean. Elizabeth Rogers Woods, Doctor of Philosophy, Learning Design and Technology, Major Professor Jeanette Hill. Jasmine Choi, Doctor of Philosophy, Learning and Design Technology, Major Professor Iksan Choi. Catrice Erica Manet, Doctor of Philosophy, Learning Design and Technology, Major Professor Robert Branch. Lucas Lima de Vasconcelos, Doctor of Philosophy, Learning Design and Technology, Major Professor Chanmin Kim, accompanied by Robert Branch. Hong-Yoon Choi, Doctor of Philosophy, Workforce Education, Major Professor J.W. Rajewski. Patricia Ann Williams, Doctor of Education, Workforce Education, Major Professor Roger Hill. Deborah Eunice Spear, Doctor of Education, Workforce Education, Major Professor Roger Hill. Terea James Stewart, Doctor of Philosophy, Counseling and Student Personnel Services, Major Professor Christina Linder. Brittany Marie Williams, Doctor of Philosophy, Counseling and Student Personnel Services, Major Professor Doris Means. Amy Kathleen Kleins, Doctor of Education, Student Affairs Leadership, Major Professor Doris Means. Christy Yvonne Dinkins, Doctor of Education, Student Affairs Leadership, Major Professor Doris Means. Jennifer Elise Mitchell, Doctor of Education, Student Affairs Leadership, Major Professor Diane Cooper. Rose Lane Tehash, Doctor of Philosophy, Counseling and Student Personnel Services, Major Professor Diane Cooper. Thelbert Wayne Snowden, Doctor of Education, Student Affairs Leadership, Major Professor Georgiana Martin. Linda Zamora Epstein, Doctor of Education, Student Affairs Leadership, Major Professor Marilee Dunn. Benjamin David Bigalki, Doctor of Education, Student Affairs Leadership, Major Professor, Marilee Dunn. Romeo Herbert Brinkley, Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership, Major Professor, John Dayton. Jermaine Elizabeth Sumler Faison, Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership, Major Professor, Karen Bryant. Sherry Lynn Johnson, Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership, Major Professor, Shanika Williams. Laura Leticia Baez Akbik, Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership, Major Professor, Shanika Williams. Susan Potts Datema, Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership, Major Professor, Shanika Williams. James Daniel Lovett, Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership, Major Professor, Shanika Williams. Ashley Tara Welchel, Doctor of Education, Music Education, Major Professor, Roy Leggett. Craig Reynolds Hurley, Doctor of Education, Music Education, Major Professor, Rebecca Atkins. Jared Keith Register, Doctor of Musical Arts, Music, Major Professor, Rebecca Atkins. William Harry Jones, Doctor of Musical Arts, Music, Major Professor, Reed Message. Jonathan Poquette, Doctor of Musical Arts, Conducting, Major Professor, Cynthia Turner, Johnston Turner. John Peyton Bryan Slack, Doctor of Musical Arts, Violin Performance, Major Professor, Michael Heald. Sun Kyu Kim, Doctor of Musical Arts, Viola Performance, Major Professor, Maggie Snyder. Peng Qian Chen, Doctor of Musical Arts, Piano Performance, Co-Major Professor, Eugenie Rivkin, Peter Lane, accompanied by Maggie Snyder. Elena Lyalina, Doctor of Musical Arts, Piano Performance, Major Professor, Evgeny Rivkin, accompanied by Martha Thomas. Yun Suk Song, Doctor of Musical Arts, Piano Performance, Co-Major Professors Martha Thomas and Peter Jutras. Hee-Jean Park, Doctor of Musical Arts, Piano Performance, Major Professor Martha Thomas. Laura Ann Cotney, Doctor of Musical Arts, Music, Major Professor Frederick Birchinall. Isaiah Matthew Fakin, Doctor of Musical Arts, Music, Major Professor, Frederick Birchinall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the newest doctors at the University of Georgia.
1,054 candidates have successfully qualified for the Master's and Specialist in Education degrees. President Moorhead, it is my pleasure to present to you the candidates for Master's degrees and for Specialist in Education degrees. Will the candidates please rise?
By the authority vested in me as President of the University of Georgia by the Board of Regents, I now confer on you the degree for which you have been recommended by your Dean and faculty with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations. You may be seated. The marshals will conduct recipients of the master's degrees and specialist in education degrees to the stage. As your name is called by Dr. Ann Marcotte, please proceed across the stage to accept our congratulations. Candidates will not necessarily be called in alphabetical order, and we respectfully ask that you not applaud individual candidates because it might cover up the name of the next person in line. Would the first two rows only please stand and follow the marshals?
Specialist in Education, Christopher Earl Merritt Patterson. Tonisia Marquisa Parrott. Rachel Jo Hunter White. Cheryl Fur Eford. Kirby Lee Russell. Deborah Yvette Major. Angel Manuel Carrera Susino. Master of Arts. Sarah Jordan Bertolini. Haley Afton Stallner. Kaylee Marisa Sims. Christina Rose Martinello. Catherine Hadley Bazemore. William James Lackey. Sarah Elizabeth Cascone. Sarah Emily Webb. Malcolm Lamar Reams. Alexandra Boss. Prajakta Pratap Dapti. Pablo Andres Troncoso. Jordan Nicole Peoples. Alec Andrew Cranack. Jeffrey Chisnell Jones. Leslie Elizabeth Hitson. Yu Wang. Jessica Ann Brumley. Zachary Vincent Bordas. Moad Faitur. Justin Anthony Cancellari. Daniel Allen Harper. Wang Chen Chai. Celine Ashley Maharaj. Caroline Christine Clancy. Ariel Faye Lewis. Marcella Guadalupe Garza. Miriam Elizabeth Turner. Anna Marie Fink. Rebecca James Posey. Tessa Karina Trumbauer. Stephen Taylor Barwick. Meredith Metcalf. Terry Bernard Moore. Elise Renee Hind. Savannah Nicole Caldwell. Stephanie Adam. Carmen Joanna Schrack. Sarah Morgan Eplin. Patrick Charles Dix. Victoria Townley Eshelman. Ashley Vanessa Crooks Allen. Serenity E. Collins. Master of Science, Kevin Dillon White. Caitlin W. Davitt. Alicia Louise Berisney. Amanda Lynn Strickland. Antonio Miguel Montica. Scott Tyler Paget. Logan Gordon Janke. Andrew McLean Dourdan. Manu Chandraprabna Sukumaran Nair. Andrew Peter Corey. Matthew Daniel Warren. Emily Louise Pauline. Christina Rose Ellerbrock. Rachel Elizabeth Graves. Sean Tyler Frankum. Catherine Elizabeth Kerr. Frida Cruz. Victoria Samantha Wright. Jared David Grant. Trisha Dalapati. Lakita Kode. Laura Catherine Witt. Ashley Rose Shea. Joseph Jeremiah Thomas. Katrina Cindy Rushing. Boyu Cow. Catherine Rose Mosley. Diane Michelle Gutierrez. Yoon Shan John. Janine Shu. Yuting Zhao. Shannon Nicole Costello. Grace Elise DeBoer. Zachary Nigel Benjamin. Imad A. Ahmad. Christopher Zachary Upton. Cody Sebastian Pace. Garu Luxman Prasad Ajarwal. Akshay M. Agashi. Eric Andrew Gramlich. Samueli Lamon. McNeil Young Kennan. Ashley Jordan Turner. Sarah Michelle Bingham. Bridget Ann Kane. Melanie Andrews. Brittany Allison Burris. Carolyn Ann Monette. Kelvin Aaron Florence. Austin Kent Hannon. William Talifero Jenkins. Shubi Jane. Chizag Jane. Yi Jin. Srijana Burrell. Andrew Austin Brock. Peter Lee. Ashwini Kanan. Divya Jakam. Atithya Ram Sankar. Bamsi Nadella. Liwei Lin. Yiping Chen. Shuang Li. Walter Scott Deesh. Caitlin Renee Olive. Dana Marie Carney. Emma Ray Nichols. Merlin Suzanne Thomas. Annalise Claire Sampson. Anit Kumar Josephi Vagela. Tosharika Mishra. Hetin Mahesh Nirmal. Niyati Hitin Shah. Ruth Ann Shade. Alexis Michelle Smith. Brian Patrick Sweeney. Anthony William Wright. Pawon Yadu. Christine O. Clinton Allen Rogers. Israel Tordoya Henkel. Jessica Elizabeth Moore. Chandana Marneyi. Nathan William Webb. Dipna Venkatachalam. Rebecca Altagracia Pujols. Daniel Patrick Owen. Maulik Nalin Kumar Shah. Lindsay Aaron Powell. Mary Elizabeth Swilly. Rebecca Fadine Bryant. Xiaoyu Zhang. Yilu Jin. Chungpo Tseng. Syed Alam. Rakesh Rajendra Bhavsar. Prasad Baliram Mate. Vibod Anand Fenani. Shrutika Vilas Gamar. Nyadana Davidas Shirsat. Master of Accountancy. Amy Suzette Webb. James Hunter Lankford. Grant James Hormuth. Kyle Elizabeth Drenner. Jennifer Ashton Hardister. Carly Morgan Hill. Hannah Rose Chizik. Felisters Jipchirchir Kiprono. Adam Joseph Schindler. Zachary Brian Fram. Jamie Rachel Horn. Master of Agribusiness, Hannah Brooke Roll. Amanda Lee Lupo. Davis Clark Herrick. Master of Agricultural and Environmental Education, Savannah Rose White. Brianna Heaney Appleiesa. Caroline McCown Williams. Jordan Lane DeWitt. Catlin Lavelle. Master of Avian Health and Medicine, Marie Christine Severin. Master of Art Education, Lisa Marie Crone. Master of Arts in Teaching, Lara Lynn Swald. Carly Anna Alexander. Collie Brooks Cantrell. Quinn Chang. Yibo Dong. Jamie Lee Momeyer. Juliana Marie Hafner. Lisa Elias Mashi. Michaela Ashley Smith. John James Partee. Joshua Daniel Oshinsky. Christopher James Krupa. Mohammed Abdul Rafe. Rachel Sky Russell. Katiana Marie Gruber. Master of Education, Emily Blake Halsey. Mariah Simone Maxey. Brandon Mitchell Hill. Haley Marie Rutchow. Jolene Conger Breedlove. Vanessa Hunter Jackie Davis. Brittany Denise Fenley. Kiera Rayon Harris. Alexia LaShawn Gosier. Kiana Nicole Browning. Jose Danielle Jimenez. Catherine Grace Farmer. Melissa Ellen Joyce. Lily Elaine Bauer. Robert Ellis Hibbs. Mackenzie Bree Matty. Julia Marie Midday. Emma Deneen Kraling. Lauren Juhee Chung. Danica Ashley Nikio. Emily Claire Johnson. Vivian Lee Carbonneau. Kristen Taylor Strout. Lauren Margaret Watkins. Paige Allison Fearbaugh. Emily Ann Moyers. Rachel Ann Haddon. Laura Nicole Hopper. Madison Smith Strickland. Mallory Jean Klish. Doina Greku. Claire Wall Kinane. Kate Miriam Lance. Alexander Christian Castle. Candice Krista Gay Peters. Alexis T. Zelwak. Casey Ann Brace. Caroline Irene Lovelace. Tanika Yvette Battle. Sumaya Bashir. Gabrielle DeRay Strickland. Olivia Tran. Sarah Nicole Clark Parks. Marquise Tyrell Cunningham. Brian Terrence Cornelius II. Evan Curtis Skloot. Samantha Chung Seago. Meredith Christine Offerjost. Laura Carolyn Gangelhoff. Allison Joan Doherty. Juan Wu. Wisnu Agung Pradana. Lu Xiao. Holly Marie Long. Elizabeth Nicole Gregory. Jenna Marie Freeman. Brooke Amanda Bagwell. Emily Lane Givens. Alexandria Lee Clayton. Adrienne Lee Couch. Jennifer Nicole Smith. Emily Ann Dutton. Alexandra Marie Shelley. Courtney Allison Rockhill. Lindsay Karen Price. Casey Marie Rayburn. Carly Erin McDaniel. Anna Catherine Stewart. Catherine Doris Crabb. Caitlin Scott Reese. Ginomo Mati. Ansley Scott McAllister. Amy Andorfer Pulliam. Blanca Estella Ramon. Darius Jamal Williams. Kelsey McCall Coker. Chantel Nicole Pace. Denise Lucille Powers. Adriana Nicole Clay. Elizabeth Doral Thacker. Sabrina Ishrat. Stephanie Michelle Looper. Madeline Kathleen McGarra. Jessica Audrey Jarrett. Morgan Taylor Wilson. Jessica Nicole Weed. Monica Quinones. Jessica Maria Taylor. Wendy Lorena Teo. Taylor Danielle Reynolds. Shruti Patel. Akua Ankama Nelson. Master of Biomanufacturing and Bioprocessing, Sempa Christopher Kisalita. Master of Business and Technology, Jonathan Matthew Summers. Bobby Ugona Ikebudu. Master of Environmental Planning and Design, Justin Reedy Butcher. Master of Fine Arts, Melanie K. Stevens. Kelsey Lane Albright. Anna Helen Corbald. Jake Hunsbusher. Yusheng Feng. Yiran Liu. Alec Welling Roach. Master of Food Technology, Sengyun Song. David P. Gill. Maura Bailey Jackson. Master of International Policy, Samuel Vaughn McCoy. Mason B. Venturo. Christina Rose Matacata. Jason Tyler Willoughby. Master of Landscape Architecture, Aaron Keeley McDonald. Master of Music, Kelly Aileen Reardon. Caroline Hill Owen. Claudia Joanna Malcho. Justin Tyler Bowen. Robert Marshall Williams. Stephen Kyle Moore. Dylan Antoine Bryan. Master of Public Administration, Savannah Nicole Woodall. Lucas Mitchell Smith. Maggie Renee Rocker. Victoria Lane Tomlin. Holden Ely Petrie. Meredith Suzanne Bennett. Caroline Cochran Evans. Daniel James Jones. Laura Arlene Bain. Truett Franklin Floyd. Elizabeth Jean Higgins. Caroline Eden Pearson. James Lee Garrett. Samantha Lynn Nagy. Madison Elizabeth Cossiter. Christopher Michael Mixon. Erin Rochelle Washington. Benjamin William Irwin. Sarah Elizabeth Henning. David Wade LaFontaine. Casey Dean Altman. Daniela Belton Perry. Alexandria Corinne Smith. Jasmine Renee Mays. Jenna Lee Jackson. Allison Charisse Terry. Stephen Javier Keene. Robert Carter Wilson. Alexander Picacia Ramsey. Zachary Adam Harris. Joshua Walker. Rachel Ann Madarviaga. Margaret O'Brien Middleton. Justin Edward Nixon. Siwan Kim. Master of Public Health, Zachary Eric Adams. Valerie E. Kimbrough. Macy Shea. Maria Paniagua Britiz. Rebecca Brooke Horowitz. Zoe Christina Eberhardt. Derek Desmond Koger. Master of Social Work, Nico LaRae Ambush. Courtney Renee Howell. Megan Elizabeth O'Brien. Victoria Lee Hall. Skylar Joy Calloway. Joseph Tyler Antico. Sarah Catherine Stokes. Hannah Ruth Register. Pamela Allen. Kaya E. Harris. Portia Shanisa Simmons. Sarah Elizabeth Novak. Mallory Brooke Maddie. Gloria Kijia Lupati, Famida Afros, Shannon Michelle Swigert, Tanisha Arkim Smith, Tia Nicole Williams, Kiera Janaea Thomas, Brenda D. Dugan, Sabrina Yvette Oakley, and Raven Shalina Thompson.
Our Masters and Specialist classes. At this time, I want to recognize two very important groups of individuals who have contributed greatly to your education at the University of Georgia. We are fortunate to have a faculty of exceptional quality and ability. As teachers, advisors, mentors, and friends, they have been instrumental in helping all of you reach this point, and I know that you are grateful. A number of our faculty are with us this morning, and I would ask them to stand, and I would ask the graduates and audience members to show your appreciation to our faculty. Without the continuing support of families and friends of the graduates, this celebration today certainly would not have been possible. Will all the families and friends of the graduates please stand, and with the graduates, please express to them your gratitude. This group of graduates assembled before you today represents tangible and inspiring evidence of the wisdom and foresight of those who drafted the charter of the University of Georgia and thus began in 1785 the great American tradition of publicly sponsored higher education. Graduates, you have proven yourself capable of the highest levels of academic achievement, and we are all proud of you today. Whatever your future holds, your time here preparing for life and citizenship is an accomplishment that you will carry with you always. Congratulations to our graduates. We will now conclude the ceremony with the singing of the Alma Mater by Laura Ann Cockney, followed by the recessional. I would request that everyone remain in their seats until the platform party and faculty have completed the recessional and an announcement is made that the ceremony is concluded. After the recessional, please take note that there will be some streamer cannons going off overhead to help you celebrate, so don't let the loud noises startle you. Please rise for the Alma Mater.
From the hill
This concludes the ceremony.
Congratulations, graduates.
Dog, sick 'em. Woo, 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 woo.